Morning, everybody. Carmen here. And for today's How Do I, we are going to talk about how you combine designs or edit designs to make them your own. And we're talking about machine embroidery designs. So I'm sitting here right now in front of the beautiful Baby Lock Solaris, and I have a couple of fun samples that I made, and I'm just going to go through them. So I'll tell you what inspired this. What inspired this How Do I this week is this Harvest Quilting Design Set from OESD. And the reason for that is this is a quilting design set that has all of these fun, different little patterns, and you can see a lot of them are for quilting, right? And there's, like the cute little, where's our squirrel friend here? We have our little squirrel here. We have some acorns, there's some leaves. It's very fall. And, since it's September, fall, I'm starting to feel like it's a little fall here in the Seattle area. It's getting a little cooler at night. And what's fun about this design collection is it is really designed to be manipulated. So you can see that here, this is a pillow form or a pillow blank that I've used here. And this pillow blank, you can see that I've combined two different designs. I have the cute little squirrel guy in the middle, and then I have the acorn wreath on the outside. And this was just combining those two together. I have left this flat to just show you how these pillow blanks work because I love playing with pillow blanks as a fun way just to make something fun. So like over here, here's a filled pillow blank that, I put happy 16th birthday. My son actually turned 16 on Sunday. So being 16 is like fresh in my brain. How do I have a 16-year-old? Here's a pillow that was quick and easy, but you can see the way that these pillow blanks come, which is sort of fun, is that they're by OESD, they come in lots of colors, like that was the blue one, there's rust, there's gray, there's all sorts of colors, but they come flat like this, so then that way you can set it on here, you can embroider it, and then all you do is you unzip it, is the big key here when you sew it together. All you do is you turn it this way, stitch it around, and then flip it, and then you have that pillow done, the pillow cover done, which is sort of fun. So the other thing that I did with this design is I played with it on this quilt here. Not the quilt, but this quilt sandwich. And this one is sort of busy just because of the fabric that I chose. But you can see here how I've actually combined quite a few different designs where, like, if I was quilting and wanted to use embroidery as my quilting technique, this could be my border. Or maybe I have a border to, the corner here, right? You can see that it all perfectly connects. And I have, I think I have 4 different designs here, but you can sort of think about how you could expand this further and further. Sometimes with quilting, I'm dropping things left and right here this morning. Sometimes with quilting, right, we all would love to have beautiful quilting that looks like the way those automated quilting systems, do these beautiful, intricate quilting. And I know I personally don't have the ability to do that with free motion, but you can use your embroidery machine, which is pretty fun. So let's talk through here. Let's actually get into the machine here and sort of show how you might play with them, how you can use sizing, rotation, those sorts of things to combine designs together and really make them your own. So I'm here, I'm just in my opening screen, I'm gonna go to embroidery, and this is how most embroidery machines are going to work. Maybe the icons are a bit different if you don't have a Baby Lock machine, and if you don't have this machine, but most embroidery machines are going to work really similarly when it comes to how you combine designs. The more advanced the machine, it's gonna give you more tools. But so we go here, and I put my designs on a memory stick, so they're over here in my pocket. So I'm gonna go here to my USB stick, and you can see here how all of the designs that were on that Harvest Quilting disc are all right here on my screen. So I can just start playing with them. And let's say, I think the first thing I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna tell the machine what hoop size I'm going to use, because this really helps for laying out, right? The first thing I usually wanna do with my machine is tell it what size hoop I wanna use. And right now, I think I'm gonna use my 10 by 5/8 by 16, because I want to be able to show you a longer piece here. So why don't we go down here, I'm going to grab a corner. We're going to set that. So there's my corner, and I can set it, I can move it here just like this. And then maybe I'm going to go add another design. Go back to my pocket here. And I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna grab, maybe I'll grab this guy. And then I can drag it over. I'm gonna hit set again and I'll move it where I want it. And you can see I can get this lined up. With most machines, you can really zoom in, or you can get close enough where you can see, like right there, if you're looking at that, that is connected now. So this will look like one continuous line. And then I'm gonna go back to add here. I'm gonna go back to my pocket, go back to my USB stick. I'm gonna go back down, I'm gonna grab that corner again. So I'm gonna complete that corner. And now the corner's not going the right direction, right? So I'm gonna go up here to edit, and I'm gonna rotate it. I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees that way so I can get it right up here. And now it's like, oh, well, this doesn't quite all fit in my hoop. How do I fix that, right? So I'm gonna, I think it's so close. I'm just gonna go back to edit, and I'm gonna go to size, and I'm gonna just make all of these guys a couple of clicks smaller. So that way then, as I slide this guy down here, and I do have to be careful. If I drag it all the way, if I drag it too far, it'll be outside of my hoop, right? So that's why I want to drag it just to the bottom. Our machines don't like it when we try to embroider outside of our hoop. Line this guy up right where I want it. There we go. And then line this guy up right where I want it. It's really close. Just like that. And of course, when you're doing this at home, you can take all the time it needs. You can also use little up and down taps, not just dragging it, because sometimes that can help you be more precise. And then you can see here, now we have this as one continuous line. And then you could keep adding. And maybe you would embroider all of this, and then you would set up and do the next section. A lot of machines have an ability to do like the new Solaris Vision and the new XP3, and then the upgrades for the Solaris and the XP. Also, they have a new edge-to-edge quilting feature that can help you manipulate some designs. And those designs are built into the machine, but they also you can see here how these designs have all been added together in a way, so that way the corners are perfect. And this is all with just manipulating the designs in your machine. The other thing I'd like to point out is that most machines only allow the designs to get 20% bigger or smaller, but like the Solaris and the XP, they actually allow you to go 200% larger. Here's the original size, or 60% smaller, because some of the machines will actually recalculate those stitches for you, which is pretty cool. And when you're trying to manipulate things, playing with the different sizes of the designs can really help everything look a little different. Yes.
So Ramona is asking, what about if you want to make a design bigger than a hoop?
If you want to make a design bigger than a hoop, so there's a couple of different things. So like for instance, I'm going to presume, Ramona, that you're sort of thinking maybe like this is a big quilt, right? So you would do it in pieces. If you have a really big design that it's all one design, you can put it into software, and that software will then divide it up into the different hoop sizes and then give you the marker points, so that way you can match them up. There's a couple of different ways. It all depends on what machine you have and what software you're using. A lot of machines have their own systems for helping you line up those connection points. So it just depends on what the design is. Some of the brands have really big hoops where you do half of it and then you turn the hoop and then it does the second half, and there are designs that are set up for that. So there's lots of different options depending on your machine if it is bigger than the hoop. If it is like this guy and is exactly the size of the hoop, right, this is super easy. So let's go do this one for fun so you can just see how easy that guy was. So we're gonna go back to home because I wanna delete that whole design, and we're gonna go back to embroidery. And we'll go back to our little pocket, because of course I could have saved these designs to my machine if I wanted. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to go to set, and then I'm going to go add. I'm going to get my scroll to put on the inside, go back to my pocket here, and grab my squirrel. I think maybe he's not towards the bottom. There he is. And then set, and you can see here that the squirrel's a little bit small, a little bit big, or maybe this outside's a little bit small. So I'm going to go back there and edit this design. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here. Bump it out, just like that. And then I'm going to go make my squirrel a little bit smaller. So we'll go to OK here, click on him. And you can see that as I select that design, now the machine knows which design I'm trying to edit. And now I go to size. I'm going to make him a little bit smaller. And that looks great. So I'm happy with it. And then you could just go to embroidery and you could see it would stitch out the outside and then the inside all in one, all basically in one go, which is pretty fun. And then, like I said before, you can always drop it in your memory. Because sometimes if I played with something like this, like maybe I was making some fall pillows, I'm probably going to make 2 of them or something, right? Or I just wanted to save it. So if I wanted to do it exactly again, I could. I can just save it to, I just saved it to the USB. You guys, I haven't maybe had enough coffee this morning. So we want to save it to our sewing machine there. And then if we went back and we wanted to, we'll go to return. If you wanted to see where is sitting in here, if you went to your pocket on your machine and I scroll down, it will be down in here. There it is. Those are right at the beginning. There it is. There's the design that I just saved. So if I wanted to save it for later. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was playing with lettering and really making something your own, because you can do a ton of different things with letters, right? So like this is just some lettering that I created and made it say something to really, make a banner, make somebody feel special with some special words and really make it your own. So I'm going to go back to home again and we're going to go play with how you can manipulate lettering and some of the features that are in our machines to allow us to change the way that lettering looks. So we'll go back to embroidery. And this machine has a lot of alphabets built into it. Most machines are going to have some alphabets built in. This machine probably has more than almost any machine out there. But you can always, if let's say your machine doesn't have very many fonts built in, you can buy, like I know OESD sells some discs that have more embroidery fonts, or you can go, you can find other embroidery fonts. So you don't have to be limited to what your machine has. This machine really has such a nice selection. So if let's say we're just going to make something sort of fun. So if we wanted to maybe do the happy birthday thing, we could go here and find my H. And I think that size looks pretty good. I'll go to lowercase here and then type in happy. And then maybe I know I'm going to want to array it. So arraying is really fun because then instead of just having these straight lines, you can move it around. So you can array it a little bit. You can array it a lot. You could flip it the other direction. You can make it horizontal. Sideways. So horizontal is not the right word for that, but you can make it all sorts of different shapes. So I think for this one, I like it like this. So and I'm going to just say okay here. Oh, and then the other nice thing is you can actually adjust the arc, which I think we'll do that in a minute. I actually did that on the pillow over there. And then we'll pull this guy up here. And then we'll go to add, and I'm going to go add, we're going to go add a number, but maybe I want a different font now, right? Nobody says you have to use the same font. So let's see if one of these feels like it's going to be extra fun. Maybe we put in this one so it's like a little bit lighter. Let's go see how those numbers look. That looks pretty good. And then maybe I want to put in the TH, so I can put that there. Yeah, I think I like how that looks. Now, if I didn't like it, I could just go to return and go pick a different, like maybe I don't like this, right? Really easy. I could just go to return. It didn't save it in there. And I could go grab a different font. Like maybe I'm like, I want it a heavier weight. I'm going to pick this one instead. And you would just go here. And you're like, actually, that's totally what I was after. Great. So we'll say pick that one. And then you can go to set and drag this guy where you want it. And then we'll go back to add here. And then if we want to add birthday, we would just go here. And if we want to use the same font we could, or once again, you could pick a different font. We'll just use this font again. And I think I'm going to leave it big. And you can play with the sizes. So maybe I want to see what size is. Well, that looks too small, right? Or really small. But look at that size difference. You have a lot of variety with each of those fonts. And most machines are going to allow you to adjust the size of the lettering. If you are going to do lettering with really small letters, I definitely recommend using a little lighter weight thread for embroidering because you'll be able to see them better. But with these big letters, standard embroidery weight thread is going to work great. I could go to set here, and maybe I was like, oh wait, actually I don't like that. You can still go back and edit more. You don't have to do all the editing there. I can still rotate it. I can still size it. I can still move it. I can hit it'll take me back to the lettering here, and I can now do the array if I want. So let's array it this direction. And maybe I want a little bit softer array, but I still want it a little softer. I can adjust this. So I can make it tighter, or I can make it go the other way, and you can see exactly how it's manipulating it on the screen. So maybe that's really how I want it. If let's say, if we go back to set here, if we click on this one and I go to edit, and I go back to my lettering here, maybe I want to move, maybe you can see that it's typed right here. So I could make this be lines. I could go just one over. Maybe I really wanted to make just that letter a little bit different. Like I wanted to size that one letter down a little bit. You could do that. Right here would click the M and it would make it smaller or larger. So you can really play with what you are doing. So let's go back to set here, and you can see now we have it. You would go to embroidery and then it would stitch it out. And you can see here, like I actually have a lot of space. Maybe I was making a banner. You could go add a regular embroidery design here. So if we wanted to go add one more thing, you could do that. We'll just go in here. Maybe we wanted to add something fun. You could go add something to this, and it really is whatever is inspiring to you. All of those things, they're all, sure, we'll add that little guy here, and you could put this here. You could really just play and play and play. The other tip I have for playing with embroidery designs is feel free to leave a color out. Like sometimes there'll be an embroidery design that the whole thing looks great, but there's like the last color or something is this one border all the way around. Well, I could just skip that color if I didn't want that in my design. So you can really manipulate and play. Our machines are really amazing. They allow you to combine designs, delete pieces in the sense of like, you could put a whole bunch of something on here and then you could take a piece, like not a piece, but like you could take the actual embroidery design back out. So you can play, and what's awesome is since you can see it all on your screen, you can really see what it's going to look like before you embroider it. So once you have it set, then you are good to go and you can embroider and have fun. So I hope I gave you some ideas today. Happy sewing, happy embroidering, and I look forward to seeing you again for our Tuesday How Do I series.